Okay, I'm just going to talk today about the relationship that I have developed with this mare, this special mare, and how I'm trying to make it something that's based on consent and um, shared enjoyment versus my default way of being with horses, which was really, you better listen. Um, yeah, it was kind, but it was all about you better listen because you're my horse and I own you. Bugs are so bad. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. And there you go. And I'm caring for this horse, I'm nurturing her. But what I want to be careful of is how quickly I can switch from nurturing to now you're mine and you owe me. And that's just a very a sneaky little tweak to the relationship, which isn't fair and isn't kind and thank you, isn't who I want to be with her. But it seems to me that a lot of the ways that I relate to this horse and all my horses are based on patterns that were laid down in my upbringing and which are based on a very hierarchical view of human relating, specifically in a family or in a man and women sort of sense. I don't think that was really nice, so I think I'm going to just try that again. I'm multitasking here. There you go. That was better. And she's really good with her hooves. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. And so I'm really grateful to have horses because for me, this is my chance to completely overhaul my view of power dynamics, and I've written about this quite a bit. But I'm still grappling, very much grappling, because I see how I switch really suddenly and almost, in 180 degrees to you are my possession, and you must behave. You must do this thing for me that is the reason you're in my life. And the thing you're here to do is satisfy my needs and wishes and wants, and even just aesthetic appreciation sensibilities, because she's so beautiful, right? And that's such a picture of how women can be viewed in the world, and not cool. I mean, it's nice that women are so many kinds of beautiful, but that is not a commodity, even though we've made it a commodity. And I'm aware of that with my horses, that they're so beautiful, they're so physical, they're so sensual. What's with the head? What's with the head? There we go. And so I'm really thinking about nurture, and that's why I'm talking to you as I'm grooming her today, because this is me nurturing her. And so often, I've always groomed my horses prior to a ride and usually after a ride. But it's felt like a task that I have to do. It's just good manners. And I've been impatient with it. I've been not so much nurturing as like getting through it. And I mean, this is how I treat myself. I get through my self-care tasks. I don't enjoy them in the way they could be, reveled in or savored, right? This is a opportunity for us to really enjoy, to soak. I'm serving this horse here, and she can just feel that from me, enjoy it, and it can deepen a bond, which, if I turn it into a means to an end, sort of a process, it changes the flavor quite a bit. And then I'll dissociate, she'll dissociate, I'll be grooming her, and we'll both be in our own worlds and miss it. We'll miss it. And so I'm thinking of my relationship with myself, my inner team, my complicated heart. And I'm also thinking of the relationships that I have with other people whom I love and who, I enjoy, but who I also tend to not take pleasure in the relationship as much as I could, because I'm always going somewhere. I'm always thinking about the point in the future. All right, girl. So we're just going to do a few things that are easy and successful, and which allow me to compliment her. Good girl. It was interesting taking her from her herd today. It's honestly the most beautiful day of the year. It's so perfect. We've had our plow winds and our tornadoes and our prolonged thunderstorms, but today here we have, oh, good girl. Back up. Good girl. We have, 24 degrees, slight breeze, and warm. And so let's do the circle game, because that's a nice one, and you're starting to feel quite competent. You see the draw between us, and she really does want to just, be in my heart space, and I can enjoy that. I can enjoy that privilege, even though I now need to mix it up with some drive. So walk on. And so I'm checking for the knowledge of the go forward cue. Yep. And this is such a coordinated thing. Yep. There we go. Yeah, I want you to keep going though. And I want you to go away further from me. I want you to be further. Yes, there we go. So she's trying to be close to me and do nothing. Thank you. That's it. That's it. A little bit better. A little bit better. There we go. Okay. And so anyway, I was taking her from her herd, and there was a sticky feeling of like pulling something from mud. She didn't want to leave. She wasn't like, walk on. She wasn't, upset to see me, but she didn't want to leave. So I'm looking for that bend. So this side is way better, right? There's the 3 circles of her, yeah, good girl. Good girl. Of her front feet, her back feet, and my feet, all in concentric circles. Very lovely. And I feel like she is concentrating. And so now we're going to do some side passing, because that's also a good way to get her connected to her own body. And she's going to go out of frame for a little bit, but we'll come back. So over here. Anyway, I didn't get impatient with her. Oh, lovely. Yeah. This has really organized itself. So she's trying to eat Wow. Her head is down, which is great. Let's see if I can go where you can see me. Again, I'm following Ryan Rose here to get the technical ideas as to what to do. But the thing that I'm focusing on here is enjoying the relationship and not thinking of her primarily as a means to an end. Wow, that's so good. A means to an end of escape or ego gratification or power over and control. All of that is really, it's right there. And I don't want to do that. I'm going to ask you not to eat. And so, yeah, I'm trying to change this relationship to be more in line with how I'd like to treat myself. And so when she was feeling sticky with her herd, I was thinking about how I might even, I videoed this before. It's not today, but it's the same idea. Like, there's a draw between her and her herd mates. I'm trying to combat that with a draw to me. And I'm another little herd, and she's quite happy here to be in this herd, but it's leaving one and going to another. And I'm going to give her the grace to expect that that's a little bit, of a decision. And I do want her to choose that decision. I have limited time with this horse. I can't just come back. But I also am changing the pace so that she has that space to think about it, to register my presence, and to choose to do that hard work. I'm just going to keep claiming the space here. There we go. To do that hard work of leaving one herd and coming to another, knowing that we're going to do school. That's a girl. That's a girl, like that. Yeah. And again, if I slow things right down, I still have the same expectation, but I don't get so mad because I'm giving her that chance to do that mental shift at her own speed and remembering it's a beautiful day. She was sleepy. She had had a good breakfast. And why would I turn this into a high stress, move your feet now venture, except because that's how I motivate myself. So my girl, we're going to do a little bit of showing off here. So again, you can tell her struggle is the draw. Nicely done. She's very, very good at coming towards. What I want to do is teach her we can be together at a distance and there's no stress. And also we're communicating. So I'm telling you stuff I need you to listen to, which is about speed and space. And she's starting to get this and she's pretty proud of herself. I can see that because I see her licking and chewing. I see her relaxing into the gates, and I see her trying and asking me questions softly, not loudly. And that all tells me we are in a good relational environment, which is healing for my nervous system because I don't treat myself this way. So I'm paying attention to, she knows what to do. Look at that. She's going over slowly. Yeah. And there's no resistance. It's just a nice soaking energy we have going on. And that's a question. No, we're not going to, no. And so I'm going to answer these questions without escalating in terms of a power dynamic where I assume she's trying to rebel. I think she's just saying, what pace are we going? Are we grazing? Is it that kind of walk? And I'm like, no, a little bit faster, please. No, a little bit faster. And so I'm going to move this. Trot. Trot. Good girl, see? So there's two things I'm asking her to do. One is to stay on the perimeter, and one is to trot. And you can see how much more her understanding has grown. And the the challenge we're both having is what a nice sleepy day it is. Trot. And because my energy is very calm, she's reading that as we don't need to go very fast, and we could just stand and soak in each other's heart spaces. And that is no kidding, like how calm energy often manifests. But what I'd like to do is pair this calm, soaking energy with athletic movement. Trot. Good girl. So I'm driving. Drive, drive, drive. Yep. And she's trying to come in. She's trying. Check. Nope, keep going. And I have to up my drive because she's not believing me. It's not enough to counteract that lovely soak. And oh dear. So I can take this so many ways, and what I'm choosing to take it in as is, this is the particular flavor of our relationship. Lots of draw, lots of soaking. I want to add the drive without adding fear or anger to flavor the drive. And that is something that, you know, is just so lovely for me, that I can both nurture her in a calm way like this, but also at speed. We could do fast things together without it changing this lovely caramel feeling between us. Walk on. And that is new for me, and it's new for her just because it's a new lesson. I think this is a pretty unspoiled horse so far, and I'm going so slow in my communicating with her because of my tendency to shift into that dominance, demanding, you are a tool mode, and then get very angry. And so I guess the point of this walk and talk is very much the energy, the relationship, the pace which she is setting. She is setting the pace, and I am nope, walk on. I am trying to preserve her happy and thinking state of mind. Like, look at that frame. Like, her head is down, her ears are flopping, her lip is flopping, she's relaxed. Walk on. She's taking care of herself. Trot. And add in some energy that is not scary. And this is fun. This is fun for me because it's healing that core belief. Trot. That was really good. You went all the way around. Nope. Trot. The core belief that the only way to get myself going in the morning is to scare myself, or to shame myself, or to get angry with myself. And those are the imbalanced ways we do motivate ourselves, and they do work, but they don't lead to this relational dynamic where she's paying attention to me. She's not worried about the outside. She's not thinking about her other herd, even. She's not worried about the chainsaw. She is trying to be as lazy as she possibly can. Fair enough. She's asking me for a break. Fair enough. And you know, we can just keep this lesson enjoyable, and I can remember this 80-20 ratio of nurture to challenge. And so I'm doing all the things that she already knows how to do, and I'm going to add in a challenge pretty soon, but it won't be a big challenge. And so this is a long enough video. And so I'm going to say goodbye to you guys, or I'm going to add more and maybe do some snipping and clipping. But I think that's where I want to go with the Substack, is this idea of cherishing the relationships I have as a present process point. They are already successful. I am already living my dream life. I've arrived at a place that's absolutely, exactly wonderful, and I'm playing within it, as opposed to being impatient and upset or disturbed at how things aren't going my way because I'm comparing this place to a distant goal, which is, you know, my default. And there's always another goal, and there's always a mirage further on. But this is pretty great. Even though I'm not on her back, even though she doesn't understand everything, she understands some things. And we are, you know, connected. And really, who wants any more than that with a horse? So have a wonderful week. And yeah, maybe I'll add more to this. We'll see.